perhaps the thought you take before you go to bed and you contemplate a little bit is what I said and what I keep saying, that to bring your attention into a state of neutrality. And see that, because actually, naturally, it is your most simple and effortless state to be in neutrality. And gradually you get so accustomed to it, so much space, so much relaxation, so much peace, that you encourage the state, you encourage yourself in a state. And then when you have to go into some kind of mental entanglement or something, you really don't feel the energy to do it. You feel, what a waste of time. It's not that the mind takes you and pulls you into the forest. It can feel like that, but as soon as you decide, I am staying in this neutrality, somehow it's so light. It is so light. Sometimes myself, I'm surrounded by hundreds and hundreds of people in one day, in such intense presence and interactions, and still I can go to bed sometime and just sleep for a few hours, quite okay. And all of this only because you don't take anything personally, and you don't also encourage your own mind to stay in this kind of personal space. Everything is personal. Me. What's going to happen to me? What my family think about me? What did I do wrong? And I should have done it. I, me, my, mine. All of this is noise. You see, I encourage a little bit staying more into this neutrality. In this neutrality, even you kind of disappear. In fact. But I know that when we say these things, people get a little shocked. You say, but I don't know how to disappear. I said, you only don't want to disappear because you don't know who you are. You think that the thing that will disappear is of value. The thing that will disappear is just the things that are your distractions. If we don't know our spiritual being, our effortless being, then you're not drawn to the truth completely, because you think it's always going to be like a sacrifice. Like somehow you're going to sacrifice something for something higher, and the higher thing you don't really know, because the thing you know is the thing you have to sacrifice. All of this is a trick, it's not true. Who you are is what you've been enjoying. The real, there's a stillness. In everybody there's a stillness. There's something that doesn't participate in anything at all. It is a space. It's not doing anything. It's not dead. It's the most pure thing. It's not subject to change. Because of that, everything else can get health. Just like in the physical world, nothing could live if it wasn't for the sun. In the physical world, almost. And in that inner place, nothing could be without the light of the self. And that self-light, that God-light, that Christ-light, whichever you want to say, is like this. It's a pure stillness. When I look outside like this, or look, everything I see is just submerged in this light. Like space, it is like space. Like inside, outside is not different. On this side of the eyes, forms are seen, names and forms are seen. On the inside, forms of emotion and thought and sensations are seen. But all of them, outside, inside, are suspended in this space, or just floating like clouds in this space, like a sky. Who are you then in that sky? It's only education and, conditioning that makes you feel you're kind of like you're a construction. But this construction is not true. You're not a construction. You're in this space. You're everywhere, like in this space. You're in this space itself. And this space entered into is inside the body. I cannot even say the space entered even the body. The body arises inside the space, and the space pervades it. But it's not like It's not a scientific process. It's a mystical process, you can say. Because when the space pervaded inside, it took on the appearance of being. And then out of this being came all the color. It's like the light has no color. The self is like this light. It has no color. And then the beingness and the body is like a prism. And then this light hits this prism and all these colors come out. And all these colors you call your mind, your thoughts, your emotions, your feeling, the world. All this technicolor existence comes out. But the source of all of them is that colorless light. And the body is just like a prism, like a lens through which this light can operate and manifest as all these colors. And all these colors, they come back into this colorless light. So even in the colors, the colorless is there. The source, the substratum of this colorful existence is this unimaginable light. Nobody can appreciate the light because the light cannot be seen. Only its effects, because it brings out the names and the forms. It gives impression to forms. Without the light, nothing can be seen. This light is perceiving its effect also. Like that. We contemplate these things just a little bit, and it turns all thought again into silence. And the poetic way is to say you see it in the rainbow or in flowers, and it's in there. Even in shit, it's there. If you have the eyes to see it, it's everywhere. It's everywhere. This is the one thing, if I could impart something, I would push you into this space. Just in that the emptiness. It's not an escape. Emptiness is not an escape. The nothingness is not an escape. In fact, the mind has been the escape. Not the emptiness is an escape. There's two aspects of observing. First is kind of active observing, where you are looking carefully at whatever is manifesting, and you're somehow discerning that it's not true, that it's just momentary, or it's a phenomenon. This is the first stage of observing. Then the next stage of observing is when things are just observed casually, passively. That there's almost like a non-engagement. Just somehow, then in that place, the attention is shrinking back into the nucleus of being. It's just a neutrality. Eyes are open, but they're not at work. They're not on duty. Eyes are open, senses are open, but they're not shopping. So only the space is here, the space is here. The breath goes in, the breath goes out. But nothing of myself leaves nor come in. A breath is taken within my own being. Like this, you're noticing everything, quietly noticing everything. And in this noticing, there's a beautiful wandering. Not a wandering, not a drifting away, but a wonder at how amazing, how joyful. Now the senses become instruments of pure joy. When the person idea is formed, the person is always busy, always up to something. It is never at peace, always restless. What's the next thing? What's the next thought? What's the next experience? It's always up to something. When the focus shifts back into the place of seeing, now the person is not invested with energy, then it becomes just a shadow on the screen of consciousness. Then what is left is just this expanse. Why you don't follow? Why you don't stay here? First I have to say like this, that you must follow and you must stay until these words burn out and you come to the place where you don't have to follow anymore. Simply there's nothing to follow. But until then, because you give attention so easily to the mind and to thought, I say pull it back. Just pull it at least back to neutrality. Learn to pull it to neutrality. But something is fascinated with where the mind goes. Even when you don't like something, it's still a fascination. There's two types of desire. A desire that I want something, and a desire that I don't want it. Both have a force, But in neutrality, everything comes smooth, everything is easy. Man is not engaged, not activated. But it is true. It is a kind of maturing. It happens gradually. Myself, it seems the most simple thing. It's effortless, what is being done. From the eyes open, from the senses open, from the mind open, from the waking state open, it is in obedience to the self. All the senses are in obedience to the self. All of them are singing in tune and in harmony to the self. None of them are allowed to go astray. Even if they appear to go astray, it's still inside the self. There's no trouble.